They say she came from perhaps the humblest origins in Grand Slam history. It's hard to argue. Her mum fashioned her tennis dress from bedsheets, and her first racket was made from a wood fruit box. The journey from Barella, New South Wales, to Wimbledon, London is more than 10,000 miles. But for a young Evonne Goolagong Cawley, the All England club felt even further away.
From the vast Australian outback, Wimbledon is another planet.
When I was 8 years old, I read in a cartoon magazine story about this lady who found this young girl in the country, trained her and took her to the city and took her to this place called Wimbledon. I thought, oh wow, is this place for real? I had no idea. And so I actually asked somebody, is this a real place that's out there? And they said, oh yes, it definitely is.
For a young Indigenous girl from the Australian outback in the 1950s, dreams were just that, dreams. They couldn't possibly come true, could they? Evonne Goolagong Cawley's career odyssey is a tale of inspiration and determination. Curious about the sport she'd make her own, she peered through the fence at her local club when she was small. With a disregard for the prejudices at the time, the club president invited her in, and Evonne began taking her first swings, each one more refined than the last. It was a moment that would change her life. By the time Evonne arrived at Wimbledon in 1970, she was the complete package. Her effortless, poetic tennis endeared her to fans, as did her carefree approach to the game and her lovable tendency for mental walkabouts.
I really didn't want tennis to be everything. I just enjoy life. I like to smell the flowers on the way. I just didn't think it was worth worrying about things too much. There's nothing much you can do it after a point's over. And when I did play really well, it was terrific.
By 1971, she was adored by Wimbledon goers.
She, of all the players, was such a beautiful player. I found myself watching her when I was playing her, and she was so likable. You couldn't, hate her.
On just her second visit to the All England club, Evonne defied the odds.
Billie Jean and Margaret were on top and playing each other in all the finals. So, I had those two to contend with. I was on a high. I was 19 years old. And I thought, well, they're going to be more scared of me.
They're all here to see whether it's just possible the most romantic story of Wimbledon 71 can end in remarkable achievement. Can Miss Goolagong win the women's title? The odds are against her.
On centre court, with the cheers of millions ringing in her ears, she gave hope to Indigenous families across Australia. Decades later, I would come to hear stories of the Sunshine Supergirl. From 1971 to 1980, Evonne reached the semi-finals or better at Wimbledon on 8 occasions. As Martina Navratilova once recalled, Evonne didn't serve and volley, she would saunter and volley.
In she goes, Mrs. Cawley. And what a beautiful volley.
She finished runner-up 3 times in 1972, 1975, and 1976. But in 1980, 3 years after becoming a mother, she was on top of the tennis world once more.
she produces a sensational cross-court winner. And superb net covering by the former Miss Goolagong. And superb all-court play by the Australians. Really magnificent. Oh, that's it. Magnificent win, but a very, very popular one.
Evonne achieved her tennis dream long before I was born, but her legacy is an inspiration to me, both on and off the court. As a proud narrated woman, I cherish our shared heritage, and I'm humbled to walk in her footsteps.